Welcome everyone. Future Schools and Academy of Entrepreneurs is delighted to welcome you today. We are starting today with the launch of the 5-week entrepreneurship program called Boss Your Future. I think we've got a PowerPoint. I might ask you to share for me there, Paula. While we're sharing that, my name's Jen Buchanan. I'm convener here with Future Schools, and also joining us today from Future Schools are our co-founders and co-directors, Peter Hutton and David Runge, who you'll hear from today during the presentation. And I'll also shortly hand over to the Academy of Entrepreneurs and let them introduce their team. But for people here today that are new to this webinar, new to Future Schools, a very warm welcome. A little bit of background, we'll move to that next slide there, Paula. I'll just go to the next one. Nope, we'll go back one. We'll just stay there. I can't remember which slide, but that one looks absolutely fine. For those that are new here, a little bit about Future Schools. We're about 110 schools across Australia and internationally who promote and explore the future of education. And we do this through a series of online events. And when opportunity presents like this one today to partner with organisations such as the Academy of Entrepreneurs, we're quick to jump on it. And we are so excited that we're able to bring this program to our people here today, the Boss Your Future program. We'll be meeting here over the next 3 Tuesdays, and we'll be able to get to know each other as we journey through the sessions designed for you as educators to support you with the training and the tools that will enable you to work with your students to successfully complete the program. And also, I'll send out some further information for you to mark in your calendar. We have 3 really exciting events coming up at the beginning of term 4, where we'll be speaking to Google, Dell and Amazon, and more details of this to come. But a little bit of housekeeping. Just throughout the conversation today, we just ask that you use the chat function to share any questions and observations you may have, and these will be answered at the end of the presentation. Feel free though throughout the presentation to share any comments as they pop up, or answer or comment on another participant's question. We would love to bring you into the conversation at the end, and the best way to do this is simply to use the hand emoji, and when we see that on the screen we'll be able to invite you to come off mute and share with your question. The more interactive, the more fun it is. We're here until 4:45, so make sure you get those questions in early. And we'd also appreciate if you could just take a moment to update your name on Zoom to reflect your full name and your school. And if you're in a space where you're able to turn on your camera, that would be wonderful. It just makes us feel a little bit more connected to each other. Just before I hand over, again, I was just asked before to talk a little bit about Future Schools and who we are. We bring together some of the most innovative schools and educators worldwide to explore and demonstrate what's possible in education. It's a pretty exciting place to play in. We offer membership, consulting and professional development. Our membership is currently 120 schools, and we're a growing community where we are like-minded educators who come together and we share resources, we gain support, we connect with each other, and we bring this positive and lasting change to schools and education. So if you're not yet a member of Future Schools and like to find out more about how to become part of this community of future-focused education, just head over to our website, or simply today you can book a call directly with Carly and she'll be more than happy to jump on a call and talk more. Well, we have so much to cover. Paula is one of my favourite people to listen to. She is just a complete bundle of happiness and enthusiasm. So if you're ready to feel inspired, walk away with a sense that everything is possible, then you're in the right place. So get ready. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fast. It's going to be furious. Over to you, Paula. Let's get this started.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you for supporting us and helping you guys create a positive impact. All of the amazing educators that are logging in today. Together, we're going to disrupt Australia and make it even bigger and better. I've caught up with a few of the schools that are Future School members, and I was just telling everyone, I visited this year 39 international cities. Well, I flew over, probably visited more, and there's no place in the world's better than Australia. I know that Peter and Dave are over in Europe. I know the world is very exciting, but nowhere is better than Australia. Our economy, our people, our collaboration, our honesty, our technology. So we need to give the kids this this confidence and this motivation and all of the entrepreneurial skills for us to continue being the best and start helping all of the other countries as well. So thank you for joining us. And thank you so much, Peter, from the beginning, believing us and bringing us on board to create an impact together with you. I need to copy paste you around the world. We need a Peter and a Dave around the world in every single city and every single school. And I think I've met with most of you guys over the last few days. And as you've seen me saying again and again and again, if you're not a member of Future School, you have no option but to become one if you want to create a positive impact. So please, let's all collaborate, unite our forces to make Australia as amazing it is and continuously developing. So we are proud to be the disruptors of education in the entrepreneurial space. And as you've seen me saying before, the only rule that we have at Academy of Entrepreneurs is that we have no rules. So we've built this amazing program to create an impact in your school. But as you've seen, most of you guys have met with me. We've got full flexibility on the program between start dates and how we're going to structure to fit it into your school to create this amazing impact. And today we are going to be just quickly overviewing the Boss Your Future program for maybe a minute max, and then I'm going to go straight into the topic of today. So as you guys know, the program is 5 weeks. We need you guys to allocate around 3 hours a week. 2 hours are going to be self-paced, where we're going to take the students on the journey of understanding who they are, how to create a positive impact, what are problems out there in the world that touches my heart, how do I hack my brain to keep myself motivated and my team and the community? How do I do minimal viable product straight away? How do I launch something to validate that it's needed and I start progressing? How do I create purpose and profit and power at the same time? How do I make money by making the world a better place, but put purpose above profit all the time, but also making enough money for me to create teams and continuously grow my movement? Because we see that often we've been trained to think that making money is not good. No. The more money we make in doing good things, the more we can create a positive impact. And lastly, in week 5, we're going to be teaching your students how to pitch. And that's when ideally you guys are going to be hosting your market day. I loved hearing about what you guys have already started doing in entrepreneurship, and we've already contacted all of the entrepreneurs we know that will perfectly fit into your schools as mentors. And thank you for all of the feedback you guys are giving us and how we can support you as leaders in the school. And then I can't wait for the final pitch. We have some really exciting news, and I'll share with you guys. It's been amazing, the movement. Please continue sharing everything on social media. The sponsors are fighting over. It's like competitors fighting, but yesterday, I can't mention name, but we had 2 humongous companies from the US that are sponsoring us, fighting over their departments and who's going to be involved in supporting you guys. So it's been really, really, really amazing to see how everyone is super aligned to what we're doing at a global level. So recently, I don't even know if the team at Future Schools have been aware of this, but we've launched a new website called bossyourfuture.com.au, just to centralize all of the communication. So you guys can send us an email through there, and all of the information, the program and everything is going to be just centralized on the special website that we've created just for this program for this year. So why is entrepreneurship so important? It is a survival skill. We need to think and act like entrepreneurs. We need to use our natural strength, work on our emotional intelligence, see problems as business opportunities, and take the step forward, pivoting, adapting every day, because no matter how much we plan, it will never be perfect. There's always room for improvement. We'll always make mistakes, but entrepreneurs are rebuilding society, the economy. And it's been beautiful to see the support that we're getting from the Australian government in this and many other programs, because they're seeing that we as entrepreneurs, we as leaders in schools, we are the ones that are shaping the future. So the government is looking at changing some of their internal rules and conditions, and even the Australian Constitution, to be able to create a bigger movement when it comes to giving better opportunities for kids and adults to be awesome entrepreneurs here in Australia. So our mission is to give not just the students, it's to give everyone in the world the entrepreneurial skills, network, and funds to succeed. Because no matter how good we are at something, whether we're a doctor, a photographer, a musician, a yoga instructor, we often haven't learned any entrepreneurial skills in the education system. So what we want to do is bring the entrepreneurial skills together with the network. Because no matter how good you are, until you haven't figured out who's your ideal customer, how are you going to make money, what channels do you communicate, what are they looking for? So you have to have the entrepreneurial skills, but you also have to have the network to be able to succeed. It is said that 78% of entrepreneurs' success come from the network. So today is an event that is the first of many, and the success of it has come from the network and partnership we have with Future Schools and with you as educators. And from this, we're going to be doing many more. So next week, we're going to be talking about mentoring. How do you mentor your students? But also, how do you build the mentoring network in your school for you to activate the entrepreneurial ecosystem? Also funds. So we're working with a lot of banks and investors on giving some really good deals for our students, for them to, oh, we've got Brad logging in. Many other opportunities for students to have seed funding, grants, and access so that they can grow their businesses quicker, so they can create a positive impact. So enough about us. Let's talk about why we're here today. We need to move the world from onepreneur to entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs get things done. So next time your student talks about, I want to, just like, no, you're going to do it. What are the steps? What are the goals? And how do we get there? So today we're going to be teaching you guys our top tips on how your students can start a business with $0. You don't need anything. Australia is one of the few countries that you can register a company, an ABN, for free in a few minutes. So let's make the most of this opportunity. First step for you to start up a business is not just to look at, okay, virtual reality, NFT, crypto, where's the market going? First thing is for you to connect with yourself. Real entrepreneurs succeed because they're first connecting with something that touches their heart and is used as a natural strength. So first step is for us to take some time to let our students connect with themselves. What is it that I love? What is it that puts me in the state of flow? And what are business opportunities that I'm interested in? Me, Paula, I'm super happy, full of energy. But there's a few things that I would absolutely fail from day one. If I'm not interested in that industry, I'm not going to get out of bed with energy to go and solve that problem. But if you guys ask me anything linked to education, 24 hours, I'm available because I love it. So we need students to take some time to see what is it that they love doing, that they do well, and how do we channel this energy towards solving a problem. And for this, there's a very simple activity created hundreds of years ago in Japan called Ikigai. So this activity, I find that students do it a lot quicker than adults. And it is, they draw these circles and just go, write down dot points of things that you love doing, that your students are really good at, that can be paid for, and that the world needs. Because entrepreneurship is not just about doing what you love, and is not just about what the world needs. The world needs everything. We need water, we need candles, we need food, we need the most basic things. The same way that we need app and disruption and technology and drones and artificial intelligence. But what is it that every student individually absolutely loves doing, that they're good at, that can be paid for, and that the world needs? And that is the business idea that they should be working on. Because until you haven't merged these 4 points, you will not succeed in life. And this is the difference between crazy entrepreneurs that are continuously growing and people that are trying to set up a business to make money or to survive. You won't survive in that. You need to combine these 4. So this will be part of the program that we're going to be working with your students. But if you can, screenshot this or send Jen and me an email. We'll share the slides with you, and you can straight away start working on this today with your students. Actually, that's actually a good idea. Jen, you've got the slides. Everyone that logged in today, we can share it with them. Thank you. Okay, step 2 is to understand that entrepreneurship is not about us. It's about us serving society. It's doing what we love, using our natural talent, but understanding that every business solves a problem. So we need our students to understand that they are serving society to make the world a better place. So whatever it is that they're doing, how do they use that goodness to create a positive impact? And what are the problems that they can solve? And it's not just ideas, it's real problems. So we always say, if you don't know what idea to solve, if you don't know what problems there are in the world, go to the United Nations Sustainable Development page. And each one of these points are worth billions of dollars if they can solve 1% of poverty in the world, 1% of hunger. So they need to work on understanding what is a real pain point that needs to be solved. Is that a real problem? And once they've combined their Ikigai to a real problem, we are then starting to understand some business opportunities and business models. Then what we've done at Academy of Entrepreneurs is we've reshaped the Canvas business model to focus on social impact. Because when you're just solving a problem, it's important, but when you're solving a problem that makes the world a better place, as you find challenges, you won't give up because you know it's not about you, it's about something bigger than you. It's about your life purpose. So we reshaped the normal 9-block Canva into 13 points where the students understand what is the problem that they're solving, who's the early adopter, who are the first few customers that they're going to get. And no, it's not the family, it's not the boyfriend, it's not the girlfriend. Who are the first early adopters, the first customers they're going to buy from them? What is the solution? What makes them unique? What is the value proposition? What is the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal that they are tackling and helping us solve? What is their vision? Then what was number 7? Who are the competitors in the market? And having competitors is good because they validate that they're the problem that needs to be solved. What are the channels they're going to use to communicate this change, to promote the businesses, to connect with potential customers? How are they going to measure the impact? What are the revenue streams? Always have 3 or more revenue streams into your business, ways of making money. What is the cost structure and resources that I need? What is this 2-sentence pitch? And what is my minimal viable product? So the students are going to be working on this on week 3. So it's a simple 1-page business plan that is about creating a positive impact. Then, once they've understood what is the problem, we then need to find a really cool, simple name that we can legally use, easy to spell and remember, and potentially work across different countries because we want our Aussie students to create businesses that in the future will create a positive impact. So a lot of students get really excited about a business name, start designing a logo, and then they realize that they can't use the name. So a lot of the names these days are taken. So there's websites with artificial intelligence that are free, that they can type in a few keywords and they can go, these are the keywords that I want my business to solve as a problem. And the artificial intelligence will create names and logos for free within a click. So this is a super cool website that you can create some really cool trendy names. Once they figured out a potential good name, they have to slow down and take a step back to see, is this name available? Because maybe the name is really good, but the name has already been taken on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. So if they choose that name, every time a potential customer looks for them, they're sending them to the competitor. So before they register, first they need to see what problem they're solving, what are some cool names and concepts, put it into this platform, it will generate names. And then from there, you see if the names are available. So they don't have to go on Instagram, TikTok, and check all of them individually. By putting the brand name here, it will show if the website URL, the Facebook, the Instagram, the TikTok, and Instagram are all available. And then they go into the government's page, the ABN page, to register. So there's a few steps because we've seen a lot of kids get really excited about the business name and they start designing the business and calling it, and then the name is not available in the government's page or the website or the social media. So please take the students through this journey for them to understand. Something really cool that I've just recently found out is that there's no age restriction for you to set up an ABN in Australia. Australia is one of the few countries that you can register your business name for free. And there's no age restriction, which is so cool for us. That means that your students in 5 weeks, hopefully all of them are going to be entrepreneurs because they can register for free at any age. So, because I've seen a couple of schools are going to put the year 8s in. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. So cool of Australia. Then next step is for us to work on the visual, because visually we can attract a lot of people and we need to use very simple colors that attract psychologically. So we're going to be talking a little bit about psychology of colors and shapes in the program. But this is an amazing place in case you want to start exploring some options with your students in the next few weeks. I personally love Squarespace for creating logos because you type in the name of the business and the tagline and you search some keywords and they have very simple icons that are very printable. Because when we build a business, we want people to identify what we do from far away, straight away, simple name and simple logo. And on Squarespace, it's all black and white, so it's very printable, and it's just simple, even for you to draw. And then straight away, you can move it across and you see how it looks on a business card, on the wallpaper, and even on a t-shirt. So it feels like it's happening. So I love initially designing logos there. And it's absolutely free for you to design a logo there. You can also do them on Canva, on Wix, many platforms are doing, but I just find the Squarespace. So Squarespace is famous for designing websites, but if you go Squarespace logo, or you just Google it, it will go straight into this page. And within 2 clicks, you can have a beautiful, simple, professional logo designs. Then next, Wix, we find the best platform for designing website, and they've got this amazing artificial intelligence that you type in your industry and it automatically gives you lots of options based on what you're building. So if you're building a hair salon or a jewelry business or a yoga studio, you just type it in there and they've got hundreds of templates that your students can use, and they can drag and drop and move. So you don't need any coding experience, and the templates are free for us to use. So that's an amazing business. And inside our course, we have Kate, the ambassador of Wix, giving your students some tips on user experience and colors for the students to build their websites. Then another amazing platform, which is one of the unicorns that we are very proud of here in Australia, is Canva. So over here, once the students have chosen the color, the style that they're going to use for their business, you go in there and Canva has almost everything you can think of, whether you're building a menu, whether you need an email signature, a business card, even like TikTok videos now you can build on Canva. So everything is in there, LinkedIn profiles and so forth. So your students can decide on a style, and then they can pick a collection, or they can mix and match and create their own as well, from social media to personal. So super recommend all of your students to have a free account at Canva. I think most students already have these days, but yes, it's super, super, super good for them to build a solid professional looking visual communication. And then another very important thing for you guys to share with your students as they're building the business is the images and icons. This is actually art. So if you see an image on Google or an icon, someone took the time to take that photo and that icon, and your students are not allowed to use these images because it belongs to someone else. And these days with blockchain technology and things like that, it could be very serious because it's considered theft because you're stealing someone else's work. So these are two amazing free platforms created for entrepreneurs to use that are absolutely free, and you can use it for commercial reasons. So Unsplash has unreal images that your students can use in the websites and posters. They can use it anywhere they want. And you type in, and normally there's at least 30 images of everything that is absolutely beautiful. And Flat Icons has thousands of different styles of icons. So if they wanted like colorful or stencil and different like formats, 3D and so forth, and they download in different formats as well, because we know that icons and images are very important for our students to promote their business. And these two are two free platforms designed for first-time entrepreneurs to use. So it's designed by the entrepreneurial community to support first-time entrepreneurs. So amazing. Please save these pages and make sure your students are using good quality images and icons that they're allowed to use to not get them into trouble in the future. Step number 5 to creating a business is doing your proof of concept. Is going out there and saying, is there anyone willing to pay for my product? And we need to throw our students out in the world as soon as we can. Don't let them wait until the perfect moment to launch. You'll always regret that you didn't start the day before. Get them out there, let them receive hundreds of no's, because from every no, it's getting them closer to a yes, adapting the product and making it ready. I'll teach you guys a really simple trick towards making your students' businesses successful. Get them out there to not sell, but to do survey. So create a Google form or have a sheet, go out there and connect to potential customers and just go, can I pick your brain? Thinking of doing this, and collect everyone's contact details and get them to do market research with potential customers. Collect all of that information. Then you shape and pivot your business towards what your ideal customer is looking for. And in this process of getting feedback, your product or service is getting better and you're building a database. So by the time your product is ready, you go back to these amazing people that donated a few seconds and minutes, and then you sell products to them. It's the easiest way for you to get customers, paying customers, is by listening to people's future needs and then going back to them and be like, thank you for your feedback. Remember that thing that you wanted? Here it is. And they'll straight away buy, because they'll feel like they're a part of your journey, that they contributed. You contributed towards solving a problem that they have, and they'll feel like they're a part of your company for giving you feedback. So I've ran businesses since the age of 9, and every business I've ever had, I've used this as a technique, because I'm building my community. I'm listening to the needs, building my database. So when I launch, I already have my first few customers aligned, and then they become often our ambassadors, and then they share our message with the community because they feel like there's a little piece of them in the business. And these days, there are amazing ways, like there's free platforms that we're going to be talking about in the course that you can conduct surveys from Google Forms to MailChimp to SurveyMonkey. There's different ways you can build newsletters, Typeform, and you can collect all of this data. And we'll teach your students how to conduct survey in simple questions, and they're collecting valuable information to help them progress. But at the same time, they are getting feedback and also building the database of potential customers. Then step 6 is a very hard one, even for adults, which is, what are my goals? What am I working towards? So SMART goals is what we recommend every student to have: a SMART goal for the week, for the day, for the month, for the year. So it's very important for us to know, what are we working towards? So when we have goals that are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based, it helps us focus. And if we teach students to do them first thing in the morning, that means they've completed the most important task and everything else flows. Because if you don't have goals, you might be shooting in all directions and getting nowhere, or you might be getting somewhere, but you have nothing to celebrate because you haven't realized how much you've progressed. So SMART goals have both the power of letting us focus, but it also helps us self-motivate ourselves. So with us at Academy of Entrepreneurs and all the entrepreneurs that we mentor over the world, we always say, set 3 in the morning and look at them at nighttime. And then by the end of the day, you're going to be so grateful for what you've achieved. And because you're putting them first thing in the morning, you're able to tick them off and focus, achieve, and then celebrate at the end of the day. So this is a very simple technique to make sure that the students are progressing, and we are teaching them on how to self-motivate themselves so they're taking a step forward every single day. Step 7 for you to set up a successful business is having networks and mentors. Most networking groups are absolutely free, and a lot of them are online these days, and finding mentors as well. A mentor would never charge your students. So next week, we're going to be talking about the power of mentors. Mentors are like godmothers and godfathers that are there to help us. They often have more experience than us in different industries. And I suggest your students look for mentors, not just in their industry, but also in different verticals. Have a marketing mentor, a human resources, a growth mentor, and so forth. And a mentoring session is something very casual. They can catch up, school break, go for a walk, grab a juice at the beach. It could be an uncle that owns a little small local business. It could be anyone, but it's very important that we have our students having mentors outside of the school, outside of other industries as well, to push them forward, guide, and question them without being homework. It's not a coach that is getting paid to be there. A mentor is there because the student is inspired, but also the mentor gets inspired by this young entrepreneur that is often a few years behind, so they feel like it's their responsibility to help the generation. A friend's dad is the most successful entrepreneur of Chile. And when I was about maybe 18, 19, he told me, Paula, if you ever need a favor, ask your busiest friend. And it's the same with entrepreneurs. Real entrepreneurs, no matter how busy they are, they always have time to help another entrepreneur. So we need to teach our students to have the courage on approaching. So I don't know if you guys logged into, we did a masterclass with the Australian government at 1:30 today, and you can see it at Academy of Entrepreneurs YouTube. But we were teaching some techniques on how to get mentors and how to network and build a community on LinkedIn, how to use genuine words right from the heart, 2 or 3 little sentences from high school students to reach to potential mentors, investors, and people for them to collaborate. So this is very important, and we're going to be talking about that in the course as well. Point number 8 is, how do we make money? So we always suggest students to have 3 revenue models. So don't put all eggs into a basket of making money one way, whether it's face-to-face or online, because if your password gets hacked, or if you can't leave the house, if you break your leg, or some other crazy virus attacks the world, you're not depending on only one revenue model. Always, you'll get more money out of one revenue model. As we know, 20% of what we say give us 80% of the results. But sometimes we have to aggressively pivot. Like on the case of Academy of Entrepreneurs, we used to have most of our business coming from one sector. And then what we had 1% of our income pre-pandemic became 80% of our income for a few months during the pandemic, because we already planted the seeds. And I remember everyone telling me, you're crazy, you're putting energy into this and this and this. Came the pandemic and everyone just went, how did you do this? I'm like, because I didn't put all my eggs into one basket. Yes, your main revenue will always come from one channel, no matter what business you're in, but you need to diversify. Look at Amazon right now. Amazon e-commerce was so famous. They make more money out of AWS, the cloud service, than the e-commerce. So even and when Bezos was setting it up, everyone was just like, why are you getting it into cloud? And look at that. Now he's got a huge new revenue channel that is like taking over the world. So you can't put all eggs into one basket. So we're going to be teaching your students business models and revenue models. So we're going to be teaching about 30 different options. Another one is marketing. What is your price? If you're going to start a cafe in the morning, you can sell the coffee at any price because we will pay anything for a coffee. In the afternoon, maybe you bundle the coffee with the leftover muffins to get rid of the muffin and to make extra cash, because we know that coffees take on cost between 18 to 20 cents for a company. So how do you upsell? What are the different like promotions for Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, or summer or spring? What is your promotional strategy? You can have different promotional strategies on a daily basis, like the example of a cafe, or if you're opening a gym. In winter and summer, it's completely different promotions and different prices for different types of exercise you'll be promoting. Physical evidence, that's something super important. Everyone's just talking about tech, and digital. Sometimes we need to do things physically to be able to get people's attention. I'll share an example of a mentor of mine. A mentor of mine, he's created the most successful digital marketing campaign in the world. He put 1 million and it became $440 million out of one campaign. And he won many awards for it. So he thought he could do anything in the world. So he launched his business. He blew money on digital marketing and he wasn't getting any results. And he had a parking app. No one really Googles for a parking app when you're desperate for parking. You're just driving around and probably Googling Wilson or local parking. So he was spending a lot of money, raising a lot of money with investors to create this paid ad campaign. And then he realized that he could walk around the streets and on the shape of parking fines for every city, he could print a voucher, put it on people's windscreens. So as you get to your car, you think you've been fined, and then the ticket is actually a $10 voucher promoting the app, which is equivalent to 1 free parking for them to use. He exploded into sales and launched the strategy in 11 countries and became the leader. He was an expert in digital marketing, but until he had him printed these little flyers in the shape of a parking fine and put into people's windscreen, he wasn't getting enough attention. So it's understanding where's the physical evidence or channel that you're going to use. Who are the people? If you build a super positive business, so say, I don't know, like a yoga business or an entertainment business, and if you don't have someone friendly at reception or on the phone, it ruins your whole business. So marketing is all integrated. What is the product you're selling? What is the process? So on the case of this one, from the flyer to QR codes to your website, is everything interconnected, the experience, the colors, the journey, and what is the place? Apple and many businesses, they don't need to physically sell, but if they don't have that stunning store that creates that unbelievable experience, their online sales will drop. So sometimes we need to invest in other areas to drive traffic. And all of this we're going to be teaching the students. And lastly, our pitch. Our pitch needs to be adapted depending on who we're speaking to. If we're pitching to a grandmother, to an investor, to our neighbors, different times of the day, the pitches will change. And that takes work and it takes emotional intelligence for you to adapt throughout the day, the keywords, the tone of voice, but we'll be working on that as well. So everything that we taught, how do you come up with a business idea? $0. Creating the perfect business model, $0. Picking the right business name that is available with the right logo, $0. Building a website today is $0. 10 years ago, it used to be minimum $10,000. Now it's $0 with artificial intelligence. Creating a proof of concept and launching it in the market often is $0. And we're going to be teaching students how do they get the proof of concept with $0 out in the market. Building a strategy, $0. Getting a mentor, $0. Building the right revenue model and tripling your income, $0. Marketing, $0. And working on your pitch is $0. But if you have starting with nothing, the sky's the limit all you can achieve, but you need to boss your future. Take action and never give up. And this is why we believe that step 1 is the most important. It's not about us. I had a lot of schools going like, oh, can you give me an idea for students to work on? What size should the students' groups be? There's no rule. And that's the real life. You need to do what you love, that you're good at, to be paid and solve a global problem. So we need to let our students shine in doing what they love, and we will guide and mentor together with you, your students, to solve problems by doing what they love. So why do we believe that everyone should start a business? Number one, in Australia, you can set up your Australian business number for free in 5 minutes. You can open any business, do anything ethical, hopefully, around any place in the world. We have students in Academy of Entrepreneurs that run their businesses online, and they're buying things from China, sending it over to Sweden and making millions of dollars. So everything is possible these days. In Australia, I know that you guys will probably not agree with me, but we have one of the best tax systems ever. We have a tax system that we pay tax on the profit. Most other countries, you have fixed registration on a monthly basis for lawyers and accountants. You pay tax on your income, and then you pay tax on top of the tax on top of the tax, and it's a nightmare. Australia is got the most amazing system compared to the rest of the world. It's one of the few countries that things are tax deductible and you pay tax on your profit, and the GST system is also pretty good. Another thing is that it's said that in 2 years of running your business, you'll learn more than 20 years of working for anyone. So if your students start setting up a business now, if they choose to go down the path of getting a job in the future, they're going to be so much more ready than anyone else that even has a degree and he has years of work experience. And plus the lifestyle that you get as an entrepreneur, we've got Dave and Peter today, and you guys are away in Copenhagen, I guess, which is so beautiful. Please take photos. I love that city. You guys were in Finland when I spoke to you guys on Sunday. Like, this is the life. Yes, we work 24 hours, but we do what we love. We make the world a better place, and we can grab our laptops and create impact for our community and open new markets everywhere we go. And also, there's unlimited growth opportunities. Like, if I'm going to push Peter and Dave, the whole world, come with me to the whole world, because there's unlimited opportunities. The more you do what you love, the more doors open. And that's what we want the kids to see. Kill all of those limiting beliefs so that they can achieve everything. Cool. So Peter, Dave, I'm so sorry. I've added some extra slides and I hope it's okay. So I'm going to show you guys an example of everything coming in together. So basic, you don't need much experience. So Zara was a student that came to us a few weeks ago, and she just went, I want to start, I'm a yogi. Can you help me turn that into a business? So like most yogis, she was getting $50 to $100 an hour. And she was very proud of it. She thought it was really cool that some students were paying her $100 an hour. I'm like, really? You're working for $100 an hour? She's like, yes, it's 100. I'm like, but you have to wake up, drive, pay for parking, for petrol. And how many hours a day can you do yoga for it? Because most people want to do yoga maybe 1 hour in the morning and lunchtime and at nighttime. And then all students want you at the same time, and you can't be everywhere at the same time. So the 100 hours, dollars an hour, you're not working 8 hours, you're not making 800 a day, you're often making 300 maximum, plus the expenses of getting to places. So that is not a business. You are a slave of the system. But we can start shifting. What about if Zara connects on Zoom, and instead of charging $100 or driving somewhere, from her house, she can do back-to-back classes in different time zones around the world, where for $20, she can have 20 customers. So she suddenly has gone from wasting hours, then having to drive, be stressed, to making $400 an hour. But that is not enough. What about if we record and build a subscription so people can access? And as she records every class, she can upload with different techniques, the summer, the winter, the full moon, the half moon, whatever it is. And she can start building that, where 20 students are custom, $20 a customer, and then she starts working on her marketing and her channels, and she starts doubling her business. So month one, she could potentially, it's pretty easy to find 20 customers at $20. Then month two, she doubles. Month three, by month four, she could be earning around $40,000. Then from there, she needs to create a movement. She can create a wellness festival and have sponsors, sell tickets at $300, $400. She can start giving workshops for maybe her clients to become better at some of the poses that is really hard just by doing it 1 hour a week, so they can do it on a weekend retreat. She can start training some of her best customers on how they can teach, and they can run their own business with the incredible techniques that she's got. Zara can create her own merchandise and even organize resorts and retreats for her to take her customers. And a lot of these things, like $100 off a festival, making $100 out of a retreat, it's pretty easy. People will pay easy, and you've got no upfront cost because you can start selling tickets and then you book the place, and then you straight away have profit when you come back to Australia. And if Zara has a global view, she could even look at, how do I franchise my own techniques? Because as we get better at the things we do, we can start building systems and help our customers become little business owners within our business and franchise. So that's an example of a business that you can literally start with $0 using these techniques, and your students can start from their houses on the weekend or after school hours. That's an example of a business. So just as a reminder, opportunities and money is everywhere. Absolutely everywhere, any country in the world, if we're doing what we love and we're linking it to a problem that solves someone's needs. And this is just the beginning of our journey together with you guys and with your students, and everything is possible when we boss our future. So please connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all of the platforms. Send us questions, send us feedback, and also let us know how you guys are progressing and your students are progressing throughout the program. And now over to you guys with questions. Let me stop sharing. Cool. And I've got 5 minutes because I've got a sponsorship meeting with Amazon for you guys. So 5 minutes of questions. And if you want anything, all of you guys have my email, and you guys can send me a message afterwards. Questions? I can see a smile, so that means that Indra, Lorna, and Matthew, Melinda, Amanda, Michelle, Oliver, Igosh. Did I pronunciate that right? What questions do we have? Peter?
All good, folks. It does take a moment to recover from the polar experience, but you'll get over it.
Yeah, I was just saying, what an inspiration. I think it's just amazing. Gosh, I needed you like 30 years ago in my life. Like, actually, I might just run off right now because I've got a few ideas, but you know, what a breath of fresh air. Love it. Really excited to be on board. I've got about 1 million questions, but so excited. And I think every young person needs to hear this. So thank you to Future Schools for bringing this, and can't wait to get started. Watch this space.
Yeah, amazing. I look forward to collaborating with you guys. And please give us feedback. We've run this in over 100 countries, but based on the different trends, the ages of students, the times that we're running, like I was speaking to a couple of schools today, and we're looking at like, what is the best time for us to bring the entrepreneur that the kids have energy? Because first thing in the morning, they might be asleep, and towards the end of the day, they're tired. So give us feedback on things like that, because we're always looking at ways to improve. And I always tell the team, we need to improve at least 1% a day. Every day we need to be bigger and better and create more impact. And none of us are perfect, and we collaborate and learn. And yeah, so please give us feedback on everything along the journey. Indra, how are you? Any questions, Amanda?
No questions at all. I'm yet to meet Paul Brocker, my line manager, and talk about the cafe that we've already got established at the school, but making it actually fully entrepreneurial, and working on that actual class, the group of kids. So I've got some ideas, and so on Thursday I'll be meeting with him, and hopefully it'll take traction then.
Amazing. Yes, Matthew.
I'll chime in. Thank you, Paula, for that, and appreciate the conversation we had the other day. We're looking forward to getting as many year 9 and 10 students logging in next term. So really looking forward to that. One of the things that I had kind of a question on is because a number of students, particularly that I work with, come from a very wide range of needs, literacy needs, significant literacy needs, which means just the process of sitting with them and helping them work through, and they have very low confidence. So one of the things that we're looking to do is to have I guess it's like it's a cafe, but mostly like a social enterprise setup where, yeah, we'll sell products, but we want that to be, in a sense, like a bit of a safe haven for students to come up with ideas that then could be sold, say, on site, and we're helping them with numeracy. So again, really low learning capacity. So even things like numeracy, buying and selling, they're very, even if they're in year 9 and 10, they're just starting to get their head around what kind of experience have you guys had with students with really low literacy and numeracy?
Who's gonna laugh? Okay, so were you saying that the difficulty, adults struggle to make money?
Oh, yeah, sure.
87% of Australians live paycheck to paycheck. So that's why the earliest we start training our kids to think and act like an entrepreneur, the less we'll take that stress. Because when you're working paycheck to paycheck, it kills your creativity, kills your motivation, your survival mode. So my experience, I worked with a very big group of high schools last year where 75% of kids were failing maths. As soon as we got them to do the ikigai of do what you love, the kids somehow within an hour had all gone on YouTube, downloaded tips, and they were coding an Excel spreadsheet and had worked out the profit margin to have profit from day one. So all of that disappeared. I am absolutely dyslexic. Absolutely. Like I'm a disaster. You guys are upset probably. Because my assistant helps me a little bit. But if you guys get an email from me, you're guaranteed to have a spelling mistake in every sentence. And this is why my emails have dot points. This is why my slides barely have words. So we all have our natural superpowers. And the course is built on little videos, so 2 to 3 minute videos, some downloadable activities. So they don't have to write anything, except maybe if they want to write like a paragraph on the website, which you don't even need to write. You can download icons and put like dot points in it. Yeah. So don't worry. And let's also pretty please be careful in how we like label the students. So we at Entrepreneurship or in the Philippines, we help 600,000 women out of poverty. That's what they call every 6 months through the similar program that we're doing with your students. They log in. And I go into the communities and I know the stuff like the poor people, the inequality, and we call all of them legends. And just that change in word, they go like, oh, I'm a legend. And we created these little awards between these women in like the communities over in the Philippines, and they're so proud of themselves. And it creates this movement. So I see in Australia, because we've got such good technology, it's easy to pick up on these superpowers that our kids have. But I just find that the more different the student is, the more the superpower will shine in a different direction. So I'm terrible at writing, but PowerPoints, like, takes me 2 seconds, and everyone just goes like, how big is your design team? PowerPoints, I do them myself in 2 seconds. So anything in life that we're not naturally, like we don't enjoy doing, we become really good at something else. So don't worry, your students will shine. They'll find, and when you do what you love, you'll always find a way of shining in a different way. So yeah, so you'll be fine, yeah. Sure. And then if
appreciate that.
You jump into a few extra sessions, and besides the entrepreneur that we're bringing in, you also have the project manager that will work directly with you guys, or you guys have my email. Just send me a message and I'll just quickly jump. I'll be multitask that month. I've already realized that my life will be gone. But yes.
Paula, I know that you've got to go, but can we please give Paula just a fantastic round of applause?
Big hugs, lots of love. Amazing to be here with you guys.
So the only thing, so Paula, if you need to jump, that's fine. Matt, I just because I've done a lot of entrepreneurship.
I need to go now. See you guys next week. See you soon. Big hugs. Have an amazing Tuesday. See you guys next week. Lots of love. Bye. Ciao, ciao.
Matt, just one thing, because I've done a lot of entrepreneurship in schools. Be really cautious about trying to weave in what are obviously literacy and numeracy tasks in, because the kids will smell a rat. You know, they've already failed at literacy and numeracy before, and so if you try and sort of like, you know, Trojan horse it into the project, they'll catch you out, and then they'll lose interest in the whole thing. My experience, I had one boy whose literacy was almost non-existent. He'd had like massively disrupted schooling. He loved snakes. He ended up starting a snake breeding program. Every time he wanted to do something, I'd say, mate, you've got to put this in writing. And like the first effort was like, you know, 3 scratchy sentences that a friend had helped him do. You know, go transforward forward 4 years, he'd give me these 32-page propositions that, you know, again, he'd had help with, but he'd outsourced it. And when I'd get it, I'd go, come on, give me the executive summary, because I'm dyslexic as well. So, you know, literally by just going through the process, it forces your development of literacy and numeracy, and kids will find workarounds, but don't try and like hide literacy and numeracy within it, because it's like getting a cat to eat a tablet that you put in their meat. You know, they will just flick everything else off. And that's my takeaway.
Yeah, look, I appreciate that, and I'm quite happy to let the program run just the way it is. I have no agenda to sneak in stuff. I'm just conscious that I spend most of my day taking students through I think a modified and integrated program to address literacy and numeracy needs in ways that hopefully aren't just, you know, they're just running from. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to the way you guys do that, and certainly tapping into the interest of this child changes the way that they approach it, which I absolutely appreciate and have experienced.
Can I just say that one of the things that I love about entrepreneurship is it means that kids that have got mental health issues, you know, they've got sporadic attendance, it really is the thing that they can succeed at. Whereas if in employment, they wouldn't succeed because they don't have the ability to self-regulate and regularly turn up. Whereas entrepreneurship, you know, you can go at it 100% when you're feeling good, and when you're not, then you can just sort of back off. So entrepreneurship for everyone. And my last comment before handing back to Jen to do the wind up, because I can see that she's starting to nervously going over time, Peter, is that the reason that we chose Academy of Entrepreneurs is because of their global reach. And this is only the first step of many steps in building a worldwide community of young people, young entrepreneurs. That's the main game for me. It's not the 5-week program. That's really just the taster. What we want to do is form a global network of young entrepreneurs, and that's super exciting.